Hey everyone, and greetings from Radio Wasteland Records. It is time once again for our weekly check into some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you. We're just going to cover the highlights, but if there's something you think we'd missed or something you'd heard about, feel free to contact us here at the store and we'll do some digging and see if we can find some information for you. As always, please feel free to check out our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. Before we get into this upcoming week's releases, though, we've been getting a lot of inquiries at the store about a reissue upcoming in March from Alice in Chains, and that is the reissue of Jar of Flies. The question at hand was whether or not we'd be able to get this tri-colored release that looked like it was being put out there on that date. It does look, however, though, that is going to be an Alice in Chains website-only exclusive. So if you're looking for that tri-colored release reissue of Jar of Flies, you're going to have to go through other means. It doesn't look like our stores can get a hold of stuff like that. We can, however, though, get a hold of the black vinyl reissue. That is scheduled for March 22nd. But again, this is the black vinyl version. A lot of folks like to collect those really cool tri-colored ones. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we'll be able to get a hold of that one. Onward now to the new releases and new vinyl reissues scheduled for release on Friday, the 2nd of February, 2024. Not much in the new front, but there's a couple of cool things we can cover. The first being a soundtrack. Now, this is being billed as Olivia Rodrigo, but it is a various artist soundtrack to The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, a film from last year. Looks like this is going to be on orange vinyl, and it will include, according to our description, music from and inspired by, and features Can't Catch Me Now, written and performed by Olivia Rodrigo. But as I mentioned, this is kind of a music inspired by and music from, so it's one of those combos of probably score and soundtrack. But there's stuff on here from Rachel Ziegler, Molly Tuttle, Billy Strings is on here, which is actually kind of cool too. And of course, the Olivia Rodrigo stuff that we did mention already in there. So The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes soundtrack on orange vinyl, listing for about $33. Up next, something from Phish that has been out for quite some time on compact disc, but as far as I can tell, this is the first time on vinyl, and this is a release called Round Room. Coming on double 180-gram colored vinyl and housed in a gatefold jacket, Round Room was recorded at the Barn in Vermont during 4 days over 2 weekends in October of 2002. So we do have some live Phish. It's the Round Room. I think it's the first time on vinyl. Double LP on that colored vinyl, coming in at a list price of about $50. And many of you know how I feel about these tribute albums, but once in a while we like to toss one in there because this one sounds like it might be kind of cool. This is a metal tribute to Led Zeppelin. Various artists coming on red vinyl from Deadline Music and Cleopatra Records. The description says it's the biggest names in metal performed the best songs by the greatest, metal band ever, Led Zeppelin. I'm gonna iffy on that one. Supercharged metal versions of Kashmir, Whole Lotta Love, Ramble On, and many, many more. Performances from folks including an ex-Iron Maiden, Paul Diano, folks from Candlebox, Kevin DuBrow from Quiet Riot, folks from Warrant, Slaughter, and many, many others. So this one, a metal tribute to Led Zeppelin, metal versions of some cool Zeppelin songs on that red colored vinyl, coming in at a list price of $28. Lots of cool stuff on the reissue front for the 2nd of February as well, starting off with a trio of half-speed masters, 2 of them coming from The Who. We're getting a half-speed master, which these things sound great. They're a little more expensive, but man, I hear they sound absolutely fantastic. So they're mastered at half speed at Abbey Road Studios. First up is the double LP Quadrophenia from The Who. This was their 6th studio album released in 1973, the band's second rock opera, and this one a good one as well. Double LP on that 180-gram half-speed mastered vinyl, The Who's Quadrophenia, coming in at a list price of about $50. Then we're getting another half-speed master by The Who. This one is The Who by Numbers, the 7th studio album from the band, released in 1975. This one a single LP on black vinyl, but again, that half-speed master, coming in at a suggested list price of about $33. The final half-speed master is coming from Paul McCartney and Wings, and this is the 50th anniversary edition of Band on the Run. Originally released in 1973, and I know that put the 50th anniversary last year, but we're getting to the vinyl now. This special edition was cut at half speed on 180-gram vinyl using an ultra high-resolution transfer of the original master tapes done by Miles Showell at the legendary Abbey Road Studios. This release, in addition to being that half-speed mastered reissue, includes a reproduction of the Linda McCartney Polaroid poster that came with the original version. So Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings, the 50th anniversary edition half-speed master, coming in at a list price of $36. We also have a pair of reissues coming from Michigan artists, the first being Brownsville Station's Yeah. This, of course, featuring the song Smokin' in the Boys' Room. This album is celebrating 50 years of the classic power punk masterwork, Yeah, coming in at a list price of about $37. This one, by the way, on gold-colored vinyl, limited edition, and I believe that there is a red vinyl version of that forthcoming in the next few weeks as well. We're also getting a vinyl version of Rock and Roll Soul Live from Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad fame. This one was recorded in August of 1989, and the description says it's 9 Grand Funk classics performed by frontman Mark Farner in August of '89 at the 20th anniversary of Woodstock. So not quite Grand Funk, but it is Mark Farner, so you're going to get all that flavor in through there. Rock and Roll Soul Live, August 20th, 1989 from Mark Farner, coming in at a suggested list price of $25. On the country side of things, we're getting a reissue of Up All Night from Kip Moore. I believe this was his debut album. Limited edition black and gold colored vinyl. Up All Night, yes, was Moore's studio debut album, originally released in 2012. The platinum certified album includes that #1 hit single, Something 'Bout a Truck, which I hear is a very good one. So Kip Moore, Up All Night on black and gold colored vinyl, coming in at a suggested list price of $33. Here's one from Music on Vinyl, and it is for LP fans only. Well, that's the title. It is for LP fans, but Elvis Presley for LP fans only on limited edition 180-gram translucent blue colored vinyl. And again, that's coming from Music on Vinyl. Limited edition of 2,500 individually numbered copies. So this one could be a fun one, coming in at a suggested list price of $40. We do have a few jazz titles of note coming out on the second as well. First up being a compilation from Dave Brubeck. This is called The Best of Dave Brubeck on limited edition 180-gram turquoise colored vinyl. This one coming from Vinyl Passion Records. Double LP with lots of great Brubeck stuff on here, including, of course, Take 5. This one coming in at a suggested list price of $33. We're getting a limited edition anniversary reissue of Spectrum from Billy Cobham. Spectrum is his 1973 debut studio album, and it's got lots of great jazz fusion stuff on there, including the song Stratus, which appears in the video game Grand Theft Auto 4. I guess I did not realize that. But here is a cool reissue coming from Friday Music, Billy Cobham's Spectrum, limited edition, anniversary edition, this one listing for about $37. And here's a reissue of a recent Record Store Day release. It's a Jungle in Here from Martin Medeski and Wood. I forget exactly when that was, but I think it was within the past year or so. This is a vinyl LP pressing, black vinyl rather, of the trio of John Medeski, Billy Martin, and Chris Wood. They did as much to reinvigorate, according to our description, and reimagine jazz as anyone over the past 3 decades. And so now Real Gone Music is proud to provide the band's classic second album, It's a Jungle in Here, in its first widespread vinyl release. Again, there was a Record Store Day release not too far back. It's a Jungle in Here from Martin Medeski and Wood, coming in at a suggested price of about $34. Switching things up, let's head over to some punk, and here's a reissue of the Undertones self-titled LP. Originally formed in Derry, Northern Ireland in 1975. That's when they released their debut album, The Undertones, which in 1979, by the way, that was released. Peaked at number 13 on the UK charts. It has got some infectious guitar hooks that take you from 60s garage through 70s glam rock with a lot of vocal quivers. So The Undertones, their self-titled album, a reissue of that, coming in at a suggested list price of $30. Heading all the way up to 2006, here is a reissue of Put Up or Shut Up from the band All Time Low. This one from the Baltimore-based alternative pop rock artists All Time Low. The reissue of this looks to be on yellow colored vinyl and coming in at a suggested list price of $25. Wrapping things up this week, a pair of reissues from the artist Rainbow Kitten Surprise. We're getting the combo EP slash joint album 7 and Mary. This one was Rainbow Kitten Surprise's independently released first album 7 and the band's first EP, joint album then called 7 and Mary for the first time on vinyl ever. That one was originally released in 2013. Then we also have a reissue of the self-titled RKS from Rainbow Kitten Surprise. This one was originally released in 2015. That one coming in at a suggested list price of about $25. And the 7 and Mary also coming in at a suggested list price of $25 as well. And that is a quick check of some of the new releases headed our way for Friday, the 2nd of February, 2024. If you're local and you see something you'd like us to pre-order, just contact us here at the store and we will get that in for you. Not local, you can still check out our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. Contact us and we can arrange shipping and we'll work on things in that way with you as well as we can. As always, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell so you can see whenever we release some new videos here on the Radio Wasteland YouTube channel. And as always, we will talk to you folks next week. Thanks a lot for being here.